Hello everyone, so today we're going to learn how I created this beautiful glitter fairy nail, and this has gone viral on my TikTok, so please check it out because I'm so excited. Okay, so what you're going to need is some tips. You can use any shape tips you want, but I'm going to do stiletto for this. You're going to need a piece of shiny paper or card. You can use nail form paper, it's really good, or you can laminate something at home. This is just from one of my packaging that I've cut off, so I'm going to use that. You're going to need some top coat, glossy top coat I think works best. I'm using the Urban Graffiti one. You're going to need a light, and you will also need some glitters of your choice. I'm using blue glitter. I'm unsure which sort of blue I'm going to use at the moment, so I'm just going to get a few out. You want to grab one of these little tools. They're so handy because they're small, so they can actually fit inside the nail so you don't get glitter everywhere. And this is what I actually use to cap the nail at the end. It's my clear 3D gel. It's flexible. It's absolutely brilliant for capping in the nail and keeping all the glitter secure. So for the liquid, I use some lens cleaner. You can get this from anywhere, Amazon, your local store. It's actually for cleaning, I believe, contact lenses, etc. And then also I use some glycerine. You know, I can never say these words. There is a few other ways of doing this, but I've actually never tried them because I've always found this way works perfect for me. I know some people use baby oil, but yeah, this is what I mean. Why fix something that's not broken? And then I like to use these squeezy bottles. They make it a lot easier to squeeze the liquid into the nail. So yeah, that's really handy. As you can see, I've already made my solution here. I would also suggest wearing gloves for this because it is glitter after all, and glitter is a nightmare to clean. So these are my beautiful pink pearl ones I sell from my store, and you're going to want some lint-free wipes too. Okay, so I am doing a stiletto one. These are my extra long stilettos. Here's a couple that I've kind of already prepped, like this. There's no glitter in them yet. I have just painted the back. But yeah, I'm going to show you how we get to this stage. So I'm going to use a size, let me just check, a size 2. If you're new, I would just suggest using the biggest nail you can. It's just going to be easier. Let me show you the zeros I have. So this is the 0, and then this is the one I'm using, which is a 3. And the reason I'm using that is because it fits me. It fits my thumbnail. It's probably slightly too big actually. I have really, really small hands, but yeah, I'm going to be using that one. So first of all, check the tip on the end. Check the tip has no jaggedy bits on the end. Just give that a little buff off. These ones are not too bad, but I would still say always check because you never quite know. Just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to slightly buff the edges of the nail. This is going to help the gel to stick because it's got a rough surface, so the gel can really grasp onto that. Try not to get the front because you want this to be nice and clear. Okay, so I'm going to take my shiny piece of card and I'm going to literally go straight in with my top coat. Now I want to make sure that I make the area long enough. So I'm just checking I have enough room here for it to still fit me. So then I'm just going to lay down the top coat. I'm doing a fairly thick layer. Make it nice and wide. And then I'm going to pop the tip on top of that. I'm going to hold the nail down and I'm going to cure. Okay, so now we're going to take this off, and you should just be able to gently peel it off like this. So next we're going to clip off all of these edges. So you have something like this. Now we're going to smoothen up all of these edges. Be gentle with this. And you want it to kind of make sure that it's flush with the top. You don't want this bit to be hanging over the side here. So I'm just going to make sure that that fits me. As you can see, I've still got plenty of room inside to play with the cap in, so that's perfect. Just going to pop it on a little nail chest piece. Now what I'm going to actually do is, because I'm just using gel polish for this one, is I'm going to do a layer of gel polish around the whole nail. So I'm actually going to do the underneath. And I'm letting that go onto the sides, and then I'm just going to do the whole nail. And this is just going to bond it all together. Now my lamp has a mirror on the bottom, so it is going to be able to cure it in one go. If yours doesn't, then I would just suggest doing the top and the bottom separately. I'm just going to let that level out. So I want it to be nice and smooth. To get the nail extra glittery, I like to first paint the back of the nail, the colour that I want to paint the glitter. That way, when the glitter moves around, it will still be a glittery nail. So I am doing Silver Mist, so I'm going to use some blue glitter. I think I'm going to go in with this one. This is Urban Graffiti Royal Sparkle. Hopefully that won't be too dark. So I'm just going to add that to the back. So once that's fully cured, I'm going to go in with another top coat just to make sure it's not sticky and it's ultra smooth. Just trying to do a thin layer here. So I'm gonna pop that in the lamp, and then you will have something that looks like this. So now we're gonna fill them up. Okay, so for your solution mix, you're going to do 2/3 of the water, 1/3 the oil. Now I have already made my solution here, and I've only got one bottle, but yeah, it's very simple. Chuck your 2/3 in, add your oil, and give it a shake. Mine's got a little bit of glitter in. These will get glitter in, so if you're doing if you want to do a nail without glitter, I would suggest you keep one separate. Okay, so what we're going to do before we put the liquid in is we're going to put our glitter mix in. I'm actually going to make a little glitter mix in here because I'm undecided what colors to do. Let's just do a little mix. Some glitters will be too thick for this kind of style, so it depends really what kind of style you want to do. So I'm going to pop some of that in. I'm not sure, you know, I think I'm just going to use this one. I think. I'm not sure I like how that one mixed. So I'm going to put this on my chest piece backwards, very carefully. So it's like that, just makes it easier. Okay, so let's add in our glitter. So hold your nail down, take some scoops, and we're just going to place that inside. I like to do 3 and then have a little look. 3 heaped ones I'm doing here. Let's have a little look. So you've ended up with probably about half, because that does get wider. And you can play around with the consistency when you add the liquid. So if you want more glitter, you can add that later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in my solution. I'm going to face it this way so I can see. Now you will have to mix it. Ooh. I like where this is going. Good choice. Like that. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir. That looks beautiful, and you can really get a feel of the movement. So if you think, oh, it's not moving enough, you want to add more of the water solution to your mix. If you think it's moving too much, you want to add some of the oil. That's thicker, so it's going to slow everything down. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. Really happy with that. I'm leaving a very small little air bubble. I don't know if you can see it, but that is just so that we have something to move around in there and get all the glitter going. So I'm just going to put this to the side and show you how we cap it. But before we do, let's just make sure we clean up a bit, because it's going to be a lot easier for your gel to stick. So I'm just using my gel brush for this, and I'm just pushing the glitter down. And flicking it off. that. And then I will as well give it a little wipe. Try not to touch the liquid because you're just going to soak it up. Okay, let me put that aside for a minute. I'm going to clean as I go because glitter is a nightmare. It gets absolutely everywhere and we don't want it to be on the outside of our nail. So yeah, I'm just going to clean up in between. Okay, so next we're going to use my clear 3D gel to cap the nail. I find that if you do a square or a coffin tip, you can actually cap the opposite way around. By that I mean the top, but because we're doing a stiletto, I find it easier to cap the inner part. So I'm just going to take a bead of the 3D gel. Can you see that? And I'm kind of just trying to, let me move it over here. Hold on, let me grab some tools. So what we're going to do is we want to kind of mimic this shape here, this kind of half moon shape. And it doesn't have to be exact, but if you can try and get it into a nice semicircle, it's going to be a lot easier. And what you can do is you can measure it with a spare nail, like that. That looks good to me. So now I'm going to cure this. Okay, so let's get that off. Now this is a flexi gel, so it's fully cured, but it's still going to be flexible. Which is perfect. Not the best semicircle, but we move. Okay, so now we're going to add some top coat around the edging of this. Make sure you have a lamp ready. And then we're going to place it where we want it. And I'm going to go about there. And cure. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to cap that top end. So I'm going to add some more gel polish. I'm leaving a hole for a moment and I will show you why in a second. So as you can see, I've got a small hole there. I'm also going to cap underneath here. Make sure that this is nice and snug. And really we're just trying to seal everything in. We don't want any spillages or leakage. Okay, so I'm actually just going to trim off this part that's hanging over, because as you can see I didn't make the symmetrical piece right away. Now the reason I like using flexi gel is, like, for example, then when I snipped it, it didn't snap, which can cause the breakage. It just came off nicely. Okay, so now is when you decide if you want any more liquid in. I think I'm just gonna do a little top up because I've got a big air bubble. Okay, so just to enclose the nail, I'm just going to take a little bit more of the 3D gel, and I'm just going to roll this into a ball. Just like that. And then see if I can do this. Get my lamp ready like that. This might be a bit big, and I'm just gonna push it. Push it onto the nail. This can be a little bit tricky. And I'm just going to close that gap as much as I can. Take some of that off. Way too much. Okay. Now I'm going to cure that under the lamp, and then I'm going to go ahead, same as what I did just now, I'm going to add some top coat and make sure that that is all nice and secure. So I'm pushing the top coat right to the back of the nail, and I'm curing. I'm just focusing on the back for a second. I think it's easier because you want to get it under the lamp pretty quick. And then, like we did earlier, I want to make sure the back is all capped. So I'm just going to go over that and cure. You should be able to see if there's any gaps, but it is liquid, so just as a little test, I give it a little squeeze, just a little squeeze, and there's nothing coming out, so that looks pretty good. But we do still have to file this back bit, so it might be a case of reapplying the gel if we need to. So just want to take off this edge. Okay, so when you've finished buffing, make sure you've got a nice straight edge on both sides, and give it a little shake, 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 and you have a glitter aquarium now. Look at that sparkle. Now this will all be covered up with paint. So what I would do is I would paint the design, but leave a negative space for the glitter to show. And honestly, these are so fun. They're really mesmerizing as well. Like, I love trying to get the glitter back up when it sinks to the bottom. So I hope this tutorial helps, and let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else, if you want any tutorials on anything, and I will be happy to help.